Cho. This is your man, Christian Pomero, and it is a Sunday night. Um, did some reading today and some journaling. Spoke with the family. And today I woke up a little bit on you would say, the wrong side of the bed. Um, Feeling all type of emotions and having thoughts that were feeling like it was hindering me. And I wanted to share some things with you folks, or even to myself, to reflect on what I want to share. And I feel like sharing today is being intentional. I've actually have had this whole summer to think about many things. And the beginning of August, I realized I was over consuming on many things. I felt like the universe was telling me, or things were guiding me into telling me, hey, you're acting up. I think everybody acts up in such many ways, so many different ways. And at the moment, it is essentially breaking down the ego, right? I've ever since 2012 I had a little accident, or say I've had a blessing, unplanned blessing, that took me away from a pathway, and that put me on a, you would quote, a spiritual pathway, or finding myself, getting to know myself. And from that point on, I started listening to motivational videos, you would call the self-help industry, right? And so what I wanted to share was, ever since then, I've been on this progression of getting to know myself and trying to better myself, and going on this pathway of taking control of my own destiny. And then in 2016 I moved over to Boston, and not only did I gain my own freedom of living independently, well, I was living independently in Miami somewhat, with the assistance of family members or friends, but I've grown so much here in Boston, and I've become financially independent, working odd jobs, and I'm in a space now that I feel as if it could take me places, or that's what I tell myself. But I truly enjoy what I do, and at the moment I'm a winery technician, so I'm an assistant winemaker, and it's bomb. I'm learning every single day something different. It brings me back to old Cookie Man days from Miami, when I used to make the edibles and sell out on the beach, and those days were fun. I learned a lot, and I was just doing it for fun, trying to make money. I started off with trying to make money, and then I grew a love for it, but then I learned, I got burnt out, which transitioned me to Boston, and I think everything works out together. And what I mean is, I thought I was gonna have an edible business up here in Boston, and little did I know that it takes a lot of hard work, and I didn't even know who I was before even trying to start a business. And throughout this time, I was in the self-help genre, inconsistently reading books and not like taking the time out. And now that it is 2020, we're in the pandemic, a lot of things have slowed down. In the beginning I was not taking that much advantage of the time. Now I feel as if there are many things out there that are telling me, hey, you got to wake up, in the sense of appreciating your time and doing what you love, because you never know when that life is taken away from you. You never know when that last breath hits. You never know when when your time comes, you know, and I believe that you should take advantage of what you want at this moment. And what I mean about that is whatever that you feel that you wish to pursue it. A great example of myself was I've always was raised with this need of financial security, and always working and trying to save up, and I wasn't that much of I was financially illiterate, you would say. And so with the progression of me moving to Boston and then getting my independence and then being interdependent through much roughness, I didn't realize that I was actually, you know, I thought I was doing well with this growth and getting to know myself, but I was actually doing a lot of damage, you know, and which blew up my ego. So watch out with that when you're doing that self-help stuff. You got to be very, very careful about that. So, you know, I just want to share that with you folks, that even though you're on this pathway of progressing or wanting to get better and all this stuff, or, you know, reading self-help books, or meditating, or dieting, or being, you know, financially strict upon yourself, like, you know, you got to find that balance between one another, because at the end of the day, you know, unconsciously you probably be telling yourself, consciously you're like, yeah, I'm progressing, I'm doing well, I'm doing this and that, but unconsciously you're actually hindering. And at the end of the day, we all have blind spots. And, you know, I experienced a group where, you know, I was afraid to open up. I was afraid to have the courage to, let's say, you know, step up and fight whatever battle I had to battle, you know. And at the end of the day, that battle's all within you, man. You know, that battle's all in here, you know. And every single day there's a battle. We all go through battles. We all go through some type of uncomfortableness. You know, at this point in time in my life, I am getting used to being uncomfortable, and in many ways, and I feel as if the universe is telling me, hey, you gotta wake up and do what you gotta do. Hence why I'm making this video. I don't believe I want to edit this video. I believe I should just put it out there. And so, you know, it's all about intentions. And so my intention here is to show, or to communicate that you have to be careful with this progression of life. You know, I'm finding that just loving yourself as who you are is beautiful in itself. Now, mind you, there are some hindrances that you could work on if you wish to, you know, but if you're comfortable wherever you're at, then by all means do you, you know. But if you don't feel comfortable with whatever that doesn't sit right with you, work on it, baby steps, little by little. You know, my older brother tells me, always used to tell me, just take things one day at a time, one thing at a time, you know. And I've been a hard-headed motherfucker, let me tell you, you know, always trying to eat on a whole plate, trying to be somebody I'm not, you know. And now finally I feel as if I'm in the pathway of growing into my own skin. You know, there's so many uncomfortable things that I fight with on a daily basis. We all fight on a daily basis. But at the end of the day, you have your own fight. Alright? There's no such thing as an external fight. It's all about the mind, you know? And then the heart. Back a long time ago, ancient Egypt times, even textbooks say this was the brain, this was the heart. The heart was the brain. You know, the brain was just like this organ that they didn't even know. They said they'll think with the heart, you know, and then you feel your feelings with your stomach, which in neurobehavioral science I'm actually studying, that they're putting in the context that that the brain, that the gut does have a brain itself, which is super funny. I can't wait for this fall to take neurobehavioral science again. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. And wherever you're at right now, no matter what, you're not alone. You know, you might think this is mumbo jumbo. Hey, look, I was raised in Miami, 305, Miami Heat. I was raised out there. I was raised in Hialeah. I was raised with this machismo. I was raised with guys not showing feelings. I was raised with a tough cookie of a brother, and like I've always had this sternness against him, but now it's like, dude, all he was doing was trying to prepare me in his own way, because he was doing his own thing. He had it way tougher than me. He's an 80s baby, born in New York, both born in New York, but he was raised in New York. He was already on the streets at 7 years old. Hopefully you don't get pissed off that I said that. But then transitioning to Miami, back in the 90s, every spot has its own hood. And God bless my mother. She always did something. She always, she never drank. She never showed negative patterns, as from what I hear from individuals. So I thank her for that, for always being a strong woman and providing for the best she can for her children. And it was a very lovely childhood. It made me the person I am today. And I've developed some defense mechanisms and some tough skin, and which has helped me adapt to my environment, in certain situations. But now that I'm older and I want to get to know myself, it has hindered me. So that goes back to what I was talking about shedding the ego, just shedding being in a skin that's not yours, and now growing into a skin that's yours. We'll see where it takes us. I've built disciplines and practices. I've tried out so many different things. I'm not going to talk about tactics here. This is just a general discussion. Let me see. And hopefully one of y'all or somebody gets in tune with this, or I would say gets a message, or could share this that could resonate to their own community. But I just wish that there's a message that you could get from this communication platform that I'm providing. And I love what I do now. I'm a winery technician, which is awesome. I'm understanding that this progression or self-help could be very detrimental in just learning how to just be, and what I mean about that is dissect the flaws. Today was a very tough day. There's times where, there's so many negative patterns, behavior patterns, and you don't want to accept them. You just got to live through it and just embrace that pain, no matter what, mental, physical, spiritual, all of it. Because at the end of the day, you grow from it, and so professionally, I enjoy what I'm doing. Personally, I enjoy what I'm doing. Family-wise, I stay connected. Just find your own roots, find what matters to you, and then from there you'll hack away. That's what I'm doing. I'm hacking away. So I hope you enjoyed this little message. As you could tell, this is my wine section. You got your red wines, got your white wines, a couple of discussions on wines and whatnot. But this is much more of just putting something out there in the world, and I thank you for taking the time out and watching it. And let's see what we could get from this. All right, mad love. Thank you. All right, and hopefully we connect. Share, comment, tell me something. Don't tell me anything. Mad love to you. Okay, peace.